Hey dreamers, Bryce here from Midnight Notion, singer-songwriter, musician, and a big fan of Metallica, but I have no idea what my favorite Metallica song is. Could it be The Day That Never Comes? Let's use math to find out. Cue the intro.
So give it to me now!
For the best Metallica song! The Day That Never Comes, track number 4 from Death Magnetic. You could call it Fade to One Sanitarium if you want to, because it's kind of a mixture of a few of their previous songs. We'll talk about it when we get there. We're going to listen, you and I'm going to stop at any time I hear something interesting, not for copyright, because I want to analyze everything. Then I'm going to grade it using the following criteria: composition, memorability, emotional response, instrumentation, and lyrics. Each category is a scale of 0 to 4 with a grand total of 4 possible points. We'll find out at the end of the video if this song has what it takes to get to the top 20 list. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Why? Because air currents flow around the globe and they blow little mists of fairies into your ears at night, and you can stop them if you hit the subscribe button. Let's listen to this song, shall we? All right, here we go. Nice clean guitar lick. Oh, we don't, okay, twice through. I'm gonna stop it right away because I just have to rant real quick. I was so mad when I first heard this song. I was so upset because I wrote a very, very similar riff of my own that I didn't release. I was writing it, I was working on it, I had it recording, and then this song came out and I'm like, oh, if I release it now, everybody's gonna think I'm copying Metallica because I've been very vocal about being a Metallica fan, but I wrote it before they did. So, oh, grr. But I have changed it a little bit and mine is gonna be on piano, so you know, whatever. If you've had that happen to you, if you've ever been writing a song and you felt like an artist stole it from you, put it in the comments below. Share your woes with me. Can we talk about how weak that fill is with no other instruments when it's just that one clean guitar? And we do have the bass. The bass is bom, 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 but it's kind of low in the mix. And he's hitting them so hard. Ba, 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 ga. It's like empty. It doesn't feel like it needs to be emphasized here. It's very intriguing to me. Now that we have Kirk's lead, this fill feels right. But leading into it with no other guitar, it feels kind of off to me. Even there, it's kind of eh. Okay, the reason why I call it Fade to, what did I call it? I don't even remember. Fade to One Sanitarium. This is very fade to black, almost all the way through, down to the key signature. We have an opening riff. While Fade to Black starts on B, this one starts on A, but Fade to Black is pretty much all the way through in A minor. They start on B, but it's a clean guitar intro with a lead that's a little more distorted, and then there's the build up and then the main riff. Here again, very similar build up, different pattern, obviously, different notes, but still very similar. And where are we? The main riff. And how does the main riff move? We have A, and I believe it goes from A to G to E to C, I believe. Let's find out. So we start with A minor. G, E, C. So there's some movement going on, but the basic chords are A minor, G, E minor, C. Okay, how about Fade to Black? Very similar, right? This one instead, A, C, G, E. Okay, so very similar. A minor, C, G, E. That is Fade to Black. And The Day That Never Comes, A, G, E, C. So they just moved the C and the E around a little bit, but ultimately the same chord progression, just, yeah, moved around a little bit. Very similar song. So I'd like some discussion in the comments below. How do you feel about songs that feel very similar to old songs? Being self-referential isn't necessarily bad. If we take a look at this song on its own, it's a fine song, but when we know that it's almost a copy paste as far as formula goes as another song that they've already done, does that make the song lesser? I'm curious what your thoughts are. Let's keep listening with an open mind. We're not going to just shun the song for being similar, but we have to keep that in mind, because if we're going to grade it on composition and we know that it's almost an exact composition as another song, that might mean it gets a docking of points. So let's just keep that in mind. Discuss below. Is it okay to reference your own song several albums later? I don't know. I mean, obviously it's okay. I just want to know how you feel about it. I'm just doing the fill to Fade to Black or Sanitarium, whatever. They all have that. Boom, boom, boom. I also have to point out the drums, because very similar drum play style. Boom, ka, boom, ba-ka-doom, boom, ba-ka-doom, boom. It's all halftime, but then that last turnaround, boom, ba-ka-boom, boom, ba-ka-boom, kind of has a straight feel to it. And that's very similar to what he does in a lot of those other songs. Fade to Black, I think Master of Puppets, there's something that he does a lot, and I want you to watch. I don't know if it happens in this song, but he has a tendency in his clean songs to do kick, snare kick. And when he does that offbeat kick after the snare, he opens the hi-hat. So he goes boom, text, doom, text, and it's only like once in the phrase, but I want to hear if that happens in this song, because he has a tendency to do that. Boom, text. No hi-hat, but the kick drum is there.
Born to push you around, better just stay down. You pull away, he hits the flesh, you hit the ground.
So he's not doing the offbeat hi-hat thing I was talking about, but the kick drum is still following that same pattern. Boom, ka-boom, boom, boom. It's not, I'm not gonna say that you're wrong for using something in the past before. I like the song just enough. All right, I'm not ripping on it just because it's using something. But I want to point it out to those of you who may not have noticed it before. Maybe you've been listening to this band all your life and you're just now realizing that these two songs are very similar. So congratulations, now you know. I don't know if that makes the song better or worse. Let's just keep going.
Mouth so full of lies, tend to block your eyes. Just keep them closed, keep praying, just keep waiting.
I love that build in. There's one, Kirk's guitar does like a shik shik. It's almost like it's loading a gun. Shik shik. And then the other guitar has like kind of a whine. It's got like a feedback sound when it comes in. I'm going to rewind it just a little bit. Listen, you can hear the chick and the hum of the other guitar as the distortion comes in. Same as Fade to Black, clean verse, distorted chorus.
Just keep praying, just keep waiting. Waiting for the one. The day that never comes. When you stand up and feel the warmth. On the sunshine.
love that nod to, their old style, Master of Puppets. It feels a lot like that bridge section right before the final verse of Master of Puppets, where they do that harmonized guitar climb. They got triplets accented by the drums, a holdout, nice holdout, back to the main riff with a lead over it. What does Fade to Black do after the chorus? It goes to the clean riff with a distorted lead over it. It's a very similar structure. Again, not bad, just similar. I'm really interested by Lars's playing here because his downbeats, he's doing a lot of hits on the hi-hat instead of the cymbals. Usually you come into a big chorus, you bah with the cymbal. When he probably does that the first time through. He builds up and then he hits the cymbals on the downbeat on the first line through the chorus. But the second line, notice he does the ba-ba-da, and then he comes to the hi-hat instead of coming to the crash again. I would feel but he goes straight to the hi-hat. It's really like, it's almost showing restraint in my opinion. I don't know if you'd call that restraint, but the natural tendency in a drummer would be to go to the crash cymbal, and he's going to the hi-hat. So it's a very interesting choice to me. Again, I don't know. I'm not trying to rip on the song. I'm not in a bad mood. I do like the song. I'm having troubles coping with whether I should grade it negatively for copying a similar pattern, but it's not like it's so entirely new because it's the same chords, same structure, same kind of tempo / feel, but it is an altogether new song. So I don't know where I stand right now. That's just how I'm feeling.
Push you cross that line. Just stay down this time. Hiding yourself, crawling yourself. You'll have your time. Gotta make them pay.
I love that. Pay!
Take it back one day. I'll end this day. I'll splatter color on this gray. Waiting for the one.
Also note that all the snare rolls, pay attention to the drums. That's what I'm saying. Pay attention to the drums. We got snare rolls the first time. What is he going to do this next time? What is he going to do the third time? And what is he going to do the fourth time? I love the tag at the end. Nice and thick. It's a cool pattern. It's a cool rhythm. I like that a lot. I almost kind of wish this chorus would come back a third time, but...
The day that never comes.
different pattern.
When you stand up and feel the warmth, but the sunshine never
What would you call this riff? This feels almost Ride the Lightning-ish, something from that era. I'm thinking of that fill. It reminds me a lot of Escape when we talked about the rhythm pattern for the verses in Escape. It's a really interesting pattern there. So it's kind of reminding me that this song almost feels like, hey, remember who we used to be, right? We're Metallica, and you know how that last record you all said you hated it? Well, look, we can still do what we used to do. Listen, like you can hear all the stuff we used to do. It's like Nostalgia the musical.
love is a four-letter word and never spoken here. Love is a four-letter word here in this prison. I suffer this no
2? Did they switch the 2? They do that all the time.
This I swear the sun will shine. This I swear, this I swear.
Did anybody else notice that the "this I swear" is the same as the chorus? It's a different note on the guitars, but the same pattern. Ba-ga-ga, ba-ga-ga. It's almost like da-na, da-na. It's different enough, but it feels similar. It's like a callback, but with a different note under it. I don't know if I'm stretching that to get that opinion, but I feel like it's a callback. Just saying. And now we go into the section that's very like a mixture of One and Sanitarium. Now we got the fast part. Here we go. YouTube just jumped back. Hold on. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have you play along at home. I'm going to try my best not to interrupt too much during the solo. All right, so what I want you to do is take all the information that you know, all the things that I've been commenting on for the last 90-some songs. I want you to play along and see if you can notice the patterns and where those patterns break. So first off, we have the quick, they play that really fast and then they end with a do. All right, the second time through, they do the same thing. The third time, what do? They make it half as long. They don't finish the full riff. That's interest. So listen all the way through. Listen to the bass, the drums, and the guitars all together and see if you can find the parts that repeat. There's going to be dueling harmonies, solo. There's going to be other stuff. I just want you to notice the patterns. I want you to watch for them. I want you to see if they get broken, and I want you to just jam along with me. Here we go. Back to this. What have you heard so far? Tell me in the comments below. What are you catching? What are you finding? What are you learning from this? We have the break that's just the drums. We build into a dueling solo, right? We got the dueling solo. It builds, but it builds gradually. It's the same pattern in the rhythm guitars, but the lead guitars, the soloing guitars, are climbing up, climbing up, climbing up. And then we have a little bit of movement that ends with the and then we're back to this. Lots of interesting changes going on. Again, building on same ideas. Now we're back to something familiar. We're back home, if you will, because we started this whole section with just the drums on the crash. So we're here again. How does it change? Not key. I keep saying different key, but I just mean same key, different note. Okay, something here. We're back to this riff. It's a really quick riff. It's a hammer-on riff. They're hitting the low E, and then they're hammering on, and then hammering on a second time to get a do-do-do, 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 do-do-do. But they're doing it so fast. Okay, while they're doing this, there's one guitar in the back that's still doing palm muting with the same pattern. But it's staying on that low E. So while everybody else is doing this climby thing up the neck, there's one that's just staying down. Just to get that kind of palm mute feel. It thickens out the song. It thickens out the sound of the song. And because we've had this riff already before, that's the part that's different. Keep going. And stop. I guess it's only there for the first part, and then they switch to the higher. Anyway. Change up. Come here. Finish with a little triplet roll there. All right, cool. You know, that at the very end, there's one riff in there that I don't know that I really need it. Do, 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 do. And then they go down to the D. Da, da, triplet, da, da. That whole section, I don't think I needed it. I felt like we were reaching our conclusion, and that was just an extra credit riff, and I don't really need extra credit riffs, so that one really didn't do it for me. But overall, the song's pretty fun. Let's give this sucker some points. Composition. Now, I'm just really on the fence about this one because, like I said, it feels like a copy-paste of Fade to Black, but it also feels like a lesser version of that. It's not really anything new. Verse, chorus, and then a big, long outro, but we've been here in Fade to Black. We've had it in Sanitarium. We've had it in One. We've heard this all before. Been here before. Couldn't say I liked it. I don't know. It's not like it's a bad composition. It's perfectly fine. It sounds nice on its own. If I didn't know about those other songs, I'd probably like this just fine enough. But because I have those other songs, I now question whether this is a good composition. Highlights include the I think that's really cool. I think it's singable. And there's a couple of parts in the solo that are really fun. I do appreciate that. So they're playing really fast. It's very impressive what they're doing. It just doesn't have the same, like, it doesn't have the moments that we look for in some of the other songs. We don't have that big, like, aha. It just feels like, yeah, that's on par. So compositionally, I can't really say much about this song other than it's fine. It's fine. Compositionally, it's a 2. Memorability. I think there are catchy parts to this song, but I think the whole second half sort of falls off. If I was to ask someone to listen to the song once and then repeat to me all of that they can remember, I feel like they might remember the chorus. I think the chorus kind of stands out. The day that never comes, I feel like that stands out, but it's not like they would have it memorized right away, and I don't think that they're going to recall much of the solo. Maybe if they're a musician, but if they're not a musician, they're definitely not going to remember that second part. Whereas if you compare it to songs like One, the machine gun section and that solo are so freaking memorable, they stand out. If you compare it to Sanitarium, there's this huge build, and there's these breakdowns, and there's these stops and stuff, and it just doesn't have that same moment to me. So it's kind of right on the fence for me. Again, memorability, that's a 2. Emotional response. I don't hate the song. I know I'm sounding like a downer today, but I think maybe part of it is because I've been listening only to Metallica for the last 90 some days. But I feel like we've gotten to this point in their catalog. I'm still looking for that new thing that stands out on its own. And I know that it's coming. And so just because I've heard the song before, I've seen it live a couple of times now, I don't really need the song anymore. I don't hate it, so I don't want to give it a negative score, but I it's not really for me now. I find myself listening to this song and going, that's pretty cool, but I would prefer Fade to Black instead. I would prefer Sanitarium instead. It's all because they have other songs just like it, and this one just doesn't meet the same bar that the others do. So unfortunately, emotional response, I'm going to keep this right in the middle too. That's a 2. Instrumentation. To give them a little lift here, they are playing well. There's some great stuff to be heard here. We finally got Rob on the bass. They all play really fast. That whole second section is pretty fast. I mean, we got some quick picking during the fast, like, machine gun part. We've got some fast hammer-ons with doodle 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 doodle. It's really fast. As a matter of fact, when they play this song live, the very end, they slow that down as you can hear it on S&M too. They really slow down that ending section. So I don't know if that's because it's hard to play or if they're tired or how that works out, but it is a little fast. So I do appreciate how fast it is. I do appreciate hearing it. I don't hate it that much, but they are playing very, very well. So instrumentally, I'll give them a 3. Lyrics. Here's some news to me that, as I actually knew just a moment ago, I checked the lyrics. Sunshine isn't S-U-N. It's S-O-N. This is all about a child. I mean, I already knew that this was about a kid kind of being beaten by their father and kind of cowering, tucking away, hiding within themselves and waiting for the day that they can stand up. But it just never comes. It never comes. And that father just keeps I don't know, the hand hits the face, you hit the ground, like all this stuff is really traumatizing stuff that a lot of people deal with. I have dad issues of my own. Mine, I guess maybe luckily, are that I never got to see him. He never was in my life, so I didn't have to deal with the abuse end of it. Anybody that's experienced or is currently experiencing abuse, my heart is with you, and I hope that day comes that you can break away from the trauma. It's a really hard life to live, and you don't deserve any of that. It's not your fault. It's that person's fault. They are not able to deal with their anger, and they need to see some therapy, because this is just a problem that doesn't need to come to you. You need to find safety, and you have my full support in doing so. I broke away from my own father, not for abuse, but for just other reasons, and I support you if you choose to do the same. I hope everyone is well. I am surprised in the lyrics in this song that sunshine is not literally the sun. I'd almost prefer it to be the sun, but I get what they're saying. The sunshine never comes. That sun never gets to shine, and that's a really unfortunate story. I do like what these lyrics are saying. They're potent, they're heavy, they have a lot of meaning. I could complain a little bit about the second verse because he rhymes day with day, and I just feel like that's a cop-out. It feels like the second verse is a little bit of a rough draft, in my opinion, but otherwise the lyrics are pretty solid. So lyrically, that's a 3. And so, The Day That Never Comes gets a grand total of 12 points. It is not enough to top the top 20. It is currently in 64th place out of, I should probably check we're at 92 videos already, 92. And we just crossed 400 subscribers. That's amazing. Thank you so much to all of you for joining me on this journey. You've all seen the top leaderboard by now, but let's take another look at it. We got one at the very top, which we talked about plenty in this song. We've got a lot, all the other songs from Death Magnetic have made it to this board so far, so maybe more will come. So now it's your turn in the comments below. Using my whole setup here, I want you to do the math and tell me what score you would give this song. Also, tell me what you would like me to do with the tiebreakers. Also, tell me what kind of music you'd like me to react or review next. I know we're coming up on the end of Metallica. We still got another album and a half to go, but I really genuinely want to know, what's the next step? If I keep with metal, I'll probably keep my subscribers. If I go to another genre, am I going to lose you all? I hope not. I hope you'll stay with me, but let me know what you'd like to see. And of course, check out Midnight Notion anywhere you get your music online. I'd love the streams, and I would really love that subscribe button, because if you haven't hit it already, we're a bunch of friends here, and tomorrow, the day that never came, and it comes after the night. Nightmares. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.